Hey guys, it's Sal here, and welcome to Loadout Loadup, the first episode in a new series that I would like to start. Now, this series is inspired by Level Cap's series titled Loadout. Now, basically, how that series works is the viewer leaves a comment with a detailed loadout, and I mean detailed, down to the wire with the weapon, attachments, squad perk, gadgets, all that good stuff. And then, that loadout is played by me, and I basically just tell you what I thought of it, how I think it works, how I think it could be improved, and basically it's just a fun thing to do. Now, this loadout can be something that you've found works well in the past, or it can be something silly like the loadout I'm currently using, sniping with iron sights. So really, it can be whatever you want it to be. Now, basically my hope is that the most upvoted comment will be the one featured in the next video. So that's basically the plan for this series, and that's how I intend to move forth. So right now I invite you to do that. Just leave a comment down below, and you can even name the loadout if you're feeling especially creative, and just basically give literally everything: the weapon, the attachments, the secondary, the gadgets, the squad perk, basically the whole deal, and you can kind of theme it, or it can just be totally random. And then in the next video I'll throw it up there, I'll show your name, you'll get a nice little mention, so that's always fun. So that is how we are going to go about deciding, and as I said, the one with the most upvotes will be the one featured in the next video. So go ahead, do that and leave a comment. I would much appreciate that, and why not? You could get featured in the next video, so go ahead, go crazy. So now that that's out of the way, let's talk about the loadout for today's video. Now, this was suggested to me by Daypones, who is currently second in command of Alpha Squad. If you have not checked out those videos, I do suggest doing that. Now, basically, this loadout was a little bit of an aggressive recon thing. I think he chose it just because he thought it might be kind of funny, and I was not expecting it to work out nearly as well as it did. So basically, I'm using the CS-LR4 Sniper with iron sights, a laser sight, and of course the straight pole bolt. The secondary was anything I wanted. I just chose the MP443. And then for gadgets, I had the PLD C4, and then I had the impact grenade and the defensive squad perk. Now, pretty quickly I realized that the PLD wasn't going to be that useful because I was playing a lot of domination, just because I figured I didn't want to do anything with any sort of range, just because with iron sights I'm not going to be able to hit anything that's not right in front of me, pretty much. So the PLD I didn't really find very useful because I was just playing domination for the most part, so there weren't really a lot of vehicles to shoot at. So that was maybe something that I would opt out for something different, maybe the motion tracker balls, because those would be perfect with this loadout. But other than that, I was mostly pretty pleased with this loadout. Going into this, I was thinking, man, this is going to be impossible. This footage is going to take me forever to get. But as you can see, I'm actually killing people and doing it quite effectively, mind you. And I was really surprised as you go into the C4 right there. It's a nice little addition. But just like sniping with iron sights just kind of seems like something like, why would you do that? And I will say I did get a lot. I mean, a lot of assist counts as kills. I wouldn't be surprised if even half of my kills were assist counts as kills. But I'm not complaining because, as the name implies, they do count as the kills. So that's not really a big deal. But I mean, it was actually a little easier than I thought it would be, because the iron sights on the CS-LR4 are actually pretty nice. And with that laser sight, it does give you that little red dot right in the middle. So it is easy to line up those shots. But a lot of the aiming with this gun, you kind of aim like, you kind of spot, you kind of aim below the triangle, and a lot of the time it was a little bit of a surprise if you actually hit the person, because it was pretty hard to tell. But when you do pull off a headshot with just iron sights, I mean, that's pretty rewarding, and that is actually pretty fun. Though, after I did try this loadout, I was curious as to how this might work with maybe a 3.4x scope, because I was finding with just a little bit more magnification, I could be quite effective, and for the most part, my sniping has all been done with an 8x scope or higher, and I've never really thought of using a lower magnification. But after trying this loadout, I can see that that could actually be a very viable and effective option. Now, the addition of the impact grenades were very, very welcome. So a lot of the times I would hit somebody, get him down to like 10 health or even lower, and he would just go around and hide behind something, and of course I couldn't hit him. But with those impact grenades, it was very easy to pick people out of cover because it doesn't give them any time to hide, and you don't need to do that much damage when they only have 10 health. So just throwing that in their general vicinity was often enough to clean them up. But then again, even if I did get the assist counts as the kill, I was usually pretty pleased with that, because as far as I'm concerned, that's just about as good as a kill. Now, I certainly would not advise sniping with iron sights on anything larger than domination or perhaps conquest on a small map, just because even at the distances that I was engaging people at, I was still finding it pretty hard to hit people, just because, I mean, for example, you see this guy up on the roof here that I go to shoot. It's pretty hard for me to see him just because he's just so small, and my iron sights, they don't really magnify at all. You see, I have to do quite a bit of adjusting to get it right on the head, and that's another thing. Getting those headshots with iron sights, unless they're right in front of you and maybe even standing still, is quite difficult. So I would not recommend doing this on any sort of large maps, as it is definitely better suited to close quarters just because you have literally no optics. But as far as general impressions go, I had a lot more fun than I thought I would. I didn't really have any games where it was kind of like, oh, this is impossible. For the most part, I went positive a lot of the time, which was very surprising, and overall I had a lot of fun. And if you're wanting a challenge, or even just, it's not really that much of a challenge, it's a lot easier than I thought it would be. If you want to just go have some fun, try it. Just slap those iron sights on a sniper, or rather, get rid of that big 8x scope. So that just about wraps up today's first episode of Loadout. Now guys, if you have appreciated what you've seen here, please like the video and share it. That really helps me out a lot. And as always guys, don't forget to load up those comments so I can load them out. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.